Welcome to the Veronica Edwards Show, where we have fun financial conversations that everyone listening can apply to their personal and professional life. I'm your host, Veronica Edwards, CPA, and today we are back, Season 5 in 2025, completely independent, sponsored by my accounting and consulting business, Balance Virtually LLC, that is officially 7 years old this year. So I definitely want to thank the V team. As always, we've got some short videos that have gotten almost 2,000 views, and that's actually friend to the show, family to the show, Mr. Matan, talking about firearm safety, security for your house. That was a very popular one. So if you haven't caught it, check it out. But if you haven't seen any of the prior shows, please like and subscribe to Veronica Edwards Show YouTube page. And we also have all of the prior shows from season 1, 2, 3, and 4 on Buzzsprout.com. So that's veronicaedwards.buzzsprout.com. So today's show is my first show where it's just me and you guys. So today I really wanted to take the time to go over some of the trends in accounting for small business owners. I get questions about this all the time. And I thought this would be a great opportunity before we end season 5 to just really have a conversation, me and you, about what's really important, and it's really being intentional in your business. So let's talk about some of these trends. So trend number 1, real-time accounting is no longer optional. Gone are the days where you can wait till the end of the month or the end of the quarter or tax time to start reviewing your books. I tell all of my clients through Balance Virtually that they need to be looking at their books at minimum once a week, ideally every day. But I get that if you're the business owner and you're in your business every day, especially if it's not an office desk job, you're not always going to have the opportunity to go into QuickBooks or FreshBooks or Xero or whatever that you're using. But I definitely recommend you cannot keep using a spreadsheet or waiting for tax time to come to look at your finances. So please, at minimum, I would say for those small business owners that do your own bookkeeping, is to go into your books at least once a week, classify all the transactions. Ideally, you're using QuickBooks. And then when you get to the beginning of the month, you've basically already have done everything. There's no surprises. You're just waiting on your bank and your credit card statements so you can formally reconcile, and always remember to run your profit and loss statement and your balance sheet. Okay, trend number 2, AI powered bookkeeping is here, but you still need the human touch. So I am very excited for all the amazing technology AI has provided with ChatGPT. Even in Zoom, there's AIs. We also have AI in QuickBooks. But you have to remember that AI is good for repetition and things that stay the same, but that's where you still need the human touch. What happens if you always usually go to Walmart for office supplies, but now this time maybe you got something for a staff's birthday lunch? Only a human, your accountant or yourself, would know that, not AI. So do not let AI be a financial blind spot in your business. It's there to help, but you do not want to be using it 100% to manage your books. Trend number 3, subscription-based revenue models are on the rise. So more small businesses are shifting from one-time sales to reoccurring revenue. So whether it's membership programs, monthly services, digital content subscriptions, even with my service providers, they're providing maintenance and warranty subscriptions. You have to understand the accounting for managing that. It's different with recognizing deferred revenue versus revenue that you earn immediately. So quick example, if you have a subscription-based product, so say somebody's buying a software from you and they say, well, instead of paying for it every month, I want to pay one time, get an annual discount. That's great, but you have to recognize the revenue differently. You have to spread that revenue over each month that it's earned. And this is the reason why you want to talk to someone like myself at Balance Virtually or with another accountant or CPA so they can make sure, especially as of December 31st during tax time, you've properly accounted for that subscription based revenue. All right. Trend number 4, one of my favorites, is more small businesses are leaning towards fractional CFO services. That is something that I provide. I get that question a lot. Well, what's fractional CFO? It sounds very scientific. CFO is just Chief Financial Officer, and fractional means you don't need that person full time. We all know that small businesses cannot afford a six-figure salary for accounting, but you do need budgeting, forecasting, pricing reviews, even just some basic best practices for your business. So instead of putting this huge investment on a six-figure salary, you can hire somebody like myself where I might provide 5 to 10 hours a week of support versus 30 or 40 hours a week. And it helps strengthen your business. I have some clients currently that I provide CFO services to, and I work directly, and I do it all remotely. And I work directly with their office manager or their junior accountant. I train those folks. I help them with best practices of when to close the books and what reports to run monthly. And I also help the owners with their budgeting and their forecasting and their tax planning. And just it gives a nice little cushion to where you don't have to know everything. But when you're scaling up your business and leveling up, in addition to having someone that's keeping up with your receipts and keeping up with your invoicing and making sure the bills are being paid, you also want to make sure that you have that fractional CFO that's going to help you, take your business to the next level, but also sustain long term. And our last trend number 5, this is for my nonprofits out there that I love and support. Grant and donor tracking has become a must-have for small nonprofits. So 2025 is all about accountability. Your funders want to see exactly where you're spending the money down to the penny. So if you're receiving grants, community donations, post-disaster relief, that is new for some of my actually for-profit companies that we received money for Hurricane Helene. You need to have solid systems in place that you can be using tracking of classes or projects in QuickBooks, or even creating a separate bank account if necessary so that you have the proper documentation, you can stay organized so that you can continue receiving these funds. You do not want to get in a predicament that you're no longer able to receive the funds ahead of time. Now they might slap your hand saying, hey, you're going to have to pay for these items and then we'll reimburse you once we can see that you've properly maintained your books. Or worst case scenarios, you don't want to lose your 501c3 designation because you're not being a good steward of your funds. So with that being said, I just want to emphasize that 2025 is all about intentionality, being intentional with your numbers, being intentional with your social media and your marketing, being intentional with your technology, if that's AI and other softwares you're using. And, you really want to ride the wave of the trends, but you always want to make sure that you have your fundamentals down, which is separate business bank account versus your personal, making sure that you're using some type of software, if it's QuickBooks, FreshBooks, or Xero, to maintain your books, and that you're reconciling your books every month, meaning you're comparing your bank and your credit card statements to that system that you're entering in all the transactions, and always keep up with your receipts. If you keep up with those things, no matter where you're at in your business, you will be successful. And no matter what trends are going on, you will be successful. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to a one-on-one edition of the Veronica Edwards Show. And I also want to continue to encourage you guys to listen to the prior shows at veronicaedwards.buzzsprout.com or at balancevirtually.com. We're also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. And until next time, stay balanced and financially savvy.